Hello, everyone. I'm Greg Weaver. Welcome to the Audio Analyst. Pardon me. "2021 seemed poised to offer improvements for the audio community over 2020, especially as overall sales continued to be strong. So it seems that when people can't travel so readily, they happily apply the funds they would have spent vacationing and going out on new gear and other upgrades to their music systems. And while I'm sure the year was a struggle for many manufacturers, importers, and dealers, considerably amplified by the strains created by production delays encountered by the nearly universal supply chain issues, many others reported having their best year ever. This year has afforded those of us in the industry quite the dichotomy of experiences. I was encouraged to see the revitalized and growing show schedule led by Gary Gill with last November's immensely successful Capitol Audio Fest in Rockville, as I mentioned in episode 62. Then, the inaugural AudioConLA, set for January 14th through 16th in Newport Beach, California, announced that it was being postponed indefinitely, setting a distinct change in that trend and its direction. In their December 27th press release, AudioConLA's executive producers, working hand in hand with the Los Angeles and Orange County Audio Society, stated, "Due to the emerging hyperinfectious Omicron variant, it became evident that it would be impossible to hold our event in total safety on the dates we planned it. We feel it would be thoughtless to host a large international gathering amid the rapidly spreading COVID-19 infections. The health and well-being of our participants are our ultimate priority. The event is therefore postponed to a later date." Now, one very important distinction included in the postponement press release from AudioConLA was that it included something not found in the similar statements issued by so many of the other audio shows that had chosen to cancel or postpone since the spring of 2020. AudioConLA announced that it would be refunding everyone at 100% within days. Now, while I'm still thrashing it out with my airline to convert my unusable mid-January flight to Newport Beach to cover my trip to Tampa in mid-February for the third Florida Audio Expo, still set for February 18th to 20th. The inaugural show was held in February of 2019 and was followed up successfully in February 2020, just as the emerging COVID-19 pandemic lockdown was beginning. And as such, it had the distinction of being the last audio show of 2020. Now, clearly there was no event in 2021 for the obvious reasons, so we shall see how this one pans out. And on a more personal note, my learning to adapt to the new and dynamic change in my professional life, combined with the additional commitments of the season, my output has also been altered by the most recent COVID variant. I have to tell you, I know more people affected by this variant than were impacted by either the original or Delta, and I was distressed and concerned to learn that part of my production team had contracted it over the holidays as well. Now, at this point, though no changes have been announced for either April's Axpona or May's high-end Munich, the rapid spread and increase of infections by the Omicron variant has me wondering if either of those shows will see postponement or cancellation. Just this past week, German medical teams announced that Omicron cases jumped some 45% in just one day, with the most dramatic growth seen in Bavaria, home to Munich. So I guess we shall see what we shall see. And guys, I was so looking forward to being able to get to Munich this year, particularly after missing the biggest industry show for the past 2 years now. But even if the shows are all postponed or canceled, I have plenty of new gear, some in-house or landing soon, to review, and plenty more music and conversations to share as well. Now, about the time this episode drops, assuming no unexpected issues, my written review of the remarkable AudioNet PAM G2 phono stage, powered by their optional high current linear power supply, the EPX, should be posted at my site, theaudioanalyst.com. Spoiler alert. Guys, this is one of the most remarkable and accurate phono stages I've listened to. And at about 1/4 the price of the 2-box phono preamplifier that sets the bar for me personally, it also embodies an exceptional value. And as many YouTube viewers prefer video to written reviews, keep an eye out for a video companion review here at the channel very soon. Among the other auditions lined up, many of which will be world premiere reviews, is the $6,600 Lampezator Baltic 3 valve-based DAC from Lucas Ficus. It is the result of 10 years of experimentation and prototyping that he feels have pushed novel tube design circuitry to new limits, representing the pinnacle Lampezator DAC design based on such miniatures. Now, as delivered from the factory, AC to DC conversion for the Baltic 3 is done via a 5Y3S rectifier. The input front end uses a set of the Chinese Peavesvane 6SN7GT blue balls, and the rear end output buffers use a set of Russian Electro-Harmonix Gold 12 BH7s. Now, Lucas also included a set of rare 1953 Soviet military NOS MELZ 6H8C metal base tubes to roll in place of the stock Chinese blue balls, as well as a set of the current production Russian reissued Mullard 12AU7 or ECC82s to roll in place of the stock Russian 12 BH7s. Now, another spoiler alert. This is a musical and remarkable DAC, especially with the NOS MELZ 6H8C metal base inputs. You have to step up to their existing higher level DACs, which both employ directly heated triodes, the $17,250 Golden Gate 2 and the $27,000 Pacific, to improve upon the remarkable sonics produced by the Baltic 3. And with the announcement of the soft launch of their new flagship DAC, the $50,000 Horizon, slated for this spring, I can't wait to see where Lampezator may take us and have requested a review sample. Now, after my time spent interviewing industry giant Gail Sanders over 2 episodes, he has also asked me to take a closer listen to the new Icon Audio Image .5 reference bookshelf system. $13,995 for the system, or $14,995 with their custom stands. And I got to tell you, after hearing them at last November's Capital Audio Fest, I can say that they are something quite special, offering flat frequency response down to 30 hertz while nicely filling the room. I'll also be sharing the remarkable results achieved with the latest Critical Mass Systems center stage footers. Those of you who follow my writings will be aware of what I thought of Joe Lovrenchik's original center stage and the follow-up center stage 2s. But as good as those 2 innovations were, now in their 3rd iteration, the center stage 2M yet again recalibrates the standard for what can be accomplished using component isolation footers. Watch for that. I'll be introducing you to the superb performance of the $17,495 Audience Adept Response AR12 T4, powered by their new $6,000 front row power cord. I've been fortunate enough to have had many iterations of an Audience 12-outlet passive conditioner installed in my big rig since 2008. This new T4 version elevates their game yet again. Honestly, I simply cannot imagine my rig without the otherwise unobtainable advantages provided by having an Adept Response power conditioner in play. I also recently dropped the remarkable sounding and uber versatile 19,000 Dynamic Sounds Associates Phono 3 into play here. A world-class phono stage that provides remote control of just about everything. This new mega phono stage from the mind and workshop of electronics designer Doug Hurlburt will support up to 3 different tone arms or cartridges using either single-ended or fully balanced inputs, and offers remote control of the gain, phase inversion, LED display intensity, muting, and cartridge loading options. Think about that. Germany's AVM has just introduced its new flagship Ovation MA 8.3 mono amplifiers. Now, offering a fully balanced and DC-coupled signal path, these technically advanced Class A, AB high-current amplifiers employ 48 selected MOSFET output transistors, have 800,000 microfarads of capacity per amplifier, and can deliver more than 1,100 watts. At 29,990 euros, or just shy of $34,000 a pair at today's exchange rate, they were shipped to me just after Thanksgiving. And while I had expected to have them in my system by now, on December 4th, I received word that after completing a leg of their trip, they were stranded in an area of British Columbia where there's been flooding, and shipping has been disrupted. They will get here when they get here, and I'll be reporting on them. And to be fair, shipping issues have become commonplace. Shippers, from freight companies to Big Brown, have become more than merely undependable. They have become embarrassingly lax, many times bordering on incompetence. Just as an example, when my Kronos Pro LE turntable, Black Beauty tone arm, and SCPS-1 power supply shipped in mid-September this past year, the freight company was to call me half an hour before they were to be dropped off. With that notification, I could have time to leave my office and get home to help load them directly into my garage. On the day of the delivery, it had been raining all morning. About 10:30, I got an SMS message from the freight truck driver saying, "You weren't here, so I left the pallet in your driveway. I put it close to the garage door to try to keep it dry." Are you kidding me? I got to tell you, I'm just grateful that Bill Parrish of GTT Audio, from whom I made the purchase, had taken the time to shrink wrap the entire pallet. It took me 20 minutes to get home and another 5 to get the entire pallet into my garage. I can't begin to imagine what damage may have occurred had the pallet not been so carefully wrapped in plastic and protected. I'll also be looking at the gamut of exceptional Wally Tools analog setup tools from Wham Engineering. Founded in the early 1990s by Walenti Wally A. Malowitz, and very well received by the analog community. Because Wally struggled to find the time to maintain the production needs of the company, he left the company in a pretty uncomfortable position well before his passing in 2018. But in the dreadful funk of early 2020 caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, we saw Wally's longtime friend and occasional production assistant, J.R. Boyclair, join in a partnership with Wally's son, Andre, to relaunch the company, and with singular purpose. You've had the opportunity to meet JR here on the channel in episode 53. He actually pranked me pretty well at the opening of that episode. We'll take a look at the $395 Wally Tractile Universal, a mirrored surface cartridge alignment protractor featuring both Bearwald and Lofgren trace arts. And because the standardized values for record geometry, including the innermost and outermost musical grooves a record should have changed over time, this protractor offers you alignment options that allow you to reduce the playback distortions specific to the age of your record collection. Further, Wham claims that this protractor can get the lower distortion of a 12-inch arm from a 9-inch arm. It's interesting. Then there is the $275 Wally reference, which JR says is the only tool that allows simple, quick, and repeatable confirmation that the top surface of your cartridge is perfectly level in both horizontal axes, front to back for proper stylus rake angle, and left to right for correct azimuth alignment. Next is the $95 Wally Fulcrum, a remarkably clever device that allows easy and precise azimuth adjustment on any tone arm, allowing selection of your stylus azimuth angle in increments as small as 1/4 of 1 degree, with up to 4 full degrees of azimuth angle freedom, both clockwise and counterclockwise. Then there's the $260 Wally Skater, an elegantly simple device that allows you to measure anti-skating force very accurately. This measurement tool assures accuracy by adjusting for varying tone arm lengths and increased swing freedom, and also allows you to assess horizontal bearing health, as well as detecting any wiring influence on the tone arms. There will be a new $500 Wally Scope to provide an accurate and simple two-step process for measuring your cartridge's dynamic rake angle, or to assess stylus condition and wear patterns. Offering compound lenses, high sensitivity, and a 1/2-inch format back illuminated camera, all mounted on an XYZ stage to facilitate motion control in all 3 axes, height, fine focus, and left to right shifting. It will allow you to capture high-resolution images of your setup and is compatible with PC, Mac, or Linux. Coming very soon, perhaps as early as the end of this month or early next, since the patent was just granted before Christmas, I'll be sharing the introduction of a new product from AudioNet, the Gauss. Guys, I'm honored to say that it was my work over the decades that inspired the creation and realization of this new product, and I will be bringing you an interview with AudioNet's branding and marketing director, Jan Jeske, and owner and CEO, Dr. Stefan Schwer, to announce this product. Now, after AudioNet had theorized, designed, prototyped, tested, and measured its performance, the 7.5 centimeter, or roughly 3-inch tall Gauss is laser printed by Eurofighter, a multinational aircraft turbine parts manufacturer. The Gauss is a paramagnetic cable riser fabricated from a newly developed weapons-grade magnesium and aluminum alloy, one which had been introduced to the world market for the armaments industry just months earlier. Now, the result is the elimination of interference in the magnetic field surrounding each signal-carrying cable, preventing ferromagnetic and diamagnetic influences on the signal. A set of 6 sells for just about $2,000. Finally, coming in late spring or summer, I'll have a world premiere of a brand new flagship product from a major player. I've been privileged to be allowed to follow its development since its inception and inspiration this past December. And though sworn to secrecy, I can tell you that it has the potential to be a game changer. I'm so excited about this. I'm honored to be allowed to introduce it to the audio world and to bring you its first review. So stay tuned. I'm really dying to share this info with you. Guys, as always, thanks for taking the time to drop by and visit today. I hope you've subscribed and that you are liking and sharing links to your favorite episodes with your friends and on social media. I love hearing from you, so be sure to post your comments and questions. Information on supporting the channel may be found in today's description section or at my website, theaudioanalyst.com. Everyone, please stay safe and keep the music playing. Till next time, cheers.